Today, we're taking the absolute latest Social Security projections for 2027 and we're going to translate them for you. We'll skip the dry economic data. Instead, we're going to make this whole journey make sense by going on a metaphorical summer road trip in a car that has a very, very serious fuel problem.
Okay, so let's dive right in by imagining that managing your Social Security benefits is exactly like planning a massive cross-country drive. You've got your snacks, your map, your favorite playlist is queued up. But there is a huge catch that everyone in the car is painfully aware of. This vehicle is scheduled to run completely out of gas by the year 2032. Literally empty. So every single mile we drive between now and then is absolutely crucial. And the amount of fuel we get at each stop, well, that's going to determine just how comfortable this ride actually is.
Which brings us to Section 1, the Uncle Sam gas card, and how we're fueling up for the year ahead. Right, so every single year, Uncle Sam promises to hand you a little extra gas money to keep you on the road. We call this the COLA, or Cost of Living Adjustment. Think of it as your Uncle Sam gas card. But the thing is, the balance on this card doesn't just get magically refilled out of nowhere. It's based entirely on a highly specific snapshot of inflation data. The government literally looks at how much the price of your road trip snacks and actual fuel went up during your third quarter pit stops, meaning those prime summer travel months of July through September. Whatever inflation does during those 3 crucial months, that dictates your budget for the entire next year.
Moving right along to Section 2, the midsummer tease. This is where hot projections meet a cool breeze. Now, if we rewind just a few months ago, Uncle Sam was looking at some seriously scorching economic heat. Inflation was running super hot, and the initial projections predicted a massive, eye-popping 4.7% boost to your gas card for 2027. I mean, seeing a number like that made a lot of folks start eyeing those premium leather seat covers, right? It sounded like a massive win for the monthly budget, a huge injection of cash that would make the upcoming year of travel a whole lot smoother.
But hold on a second, because as anyone tracking the economy knows, the weather changes fast. A much cooler breeze of lower inflation suddenly hit the market. This was mostly driven by a really welcome dip in actual gas and energy prices. So because the cost of living cooled off, Uncle Sam is now clearing his throat and adjusting the math. The actual boost to your gas card for 2027 is likely going to be a bit more modest, sitting right around 3.4% to 3.6%. Now, I know a smaller increase might seem like a bummer at first glance, but remember what it actually represents. It means the everyday things you buy aren't getting ridiculously expensive quite as fast.
And that leads us to Section 3, the Rare Health Club discount. Let's look at a pretty nice silver lining for your budget.
Check out this really rare inversion between your gas card and your mandatory gym membership, which, in our road trip analogy, is your Medicare Part B premium. If you've been on this road for a while, you know exactly how this usually goes. Normally, your Medicare Part B premium jacks up its prices way faster than their gas card gets refilled. It effectively steals your snack money before it even hits your pocket. You get a raise, and Medicare just eats the whole thing. But this coming year is projecting a very rare and very welcome flip. The gym is only raising its fees by about 3.25%, while your gas refill is sitting at roughly 3.5%. And this is exactly why this specific math matters to your day-to-day life, because that 3.5% gas refill is just slightly larger than the 3.25% health club hike. You might actually have a few extra cents left over. Seriously, for the first time in what feels like forever, you might actually get to keep a small slice of that raise, maybe enough for a highly coveted bag of beef jerky at the next gas station. It's a tiny silver lining, sure, but in the world of fixed incomes, anytime you actually come out ahead of your Medicare premiums, it is absolutely worth celebrating. Let's move to Section 4, the check engine light. It's time to talk about that blinking red warning on the dashboard. While we're all high-fiving over that extra bag of jerky, we really need to address the terrifying, blinking red light on the dashboard that threatens to completely derail this trip. Things are getting incredibly serious here. We're cruising in 2024, looking ahead to a decent refill in 2027, but looming in the distance is 2032. The Mechanics Committee, which in the real world is the nonpartisan committee for a responsible federal budget, they are practically shouting from the rooftops that the Social Security Trust Fund engine will be completely empty in just about 6 to 8 years. The reserves that have padded this system for decades, gone.
And if the head office in Congress doesn't step in to fix this engine, the law is crystal clear about what happens next. The system can only pay out exactly what it takes in from taxes. That means everyone in the car faces a permanent, immediate 24% cut to their gas money.
Just imagine waking up one morning and a quarter of your entire monthly budget simply vanishes. There's no gradual phase-in, no gentle landing, just a brutal, across-the-board 24% haircut for millions of Americans. So the crucial takeaway here is that we aren't just talking about missing out on a few luxuries. Advocacy groups have pointed out a devastating reality. Current payments often fail to cover basic survival costs today. They are leaving many seniors hovering near or even below the poverty line right now. If that 24% cut actually happens, it would be absolutely catastrophic for our most vulnerable travelers. That's the ultimate why this matters. The solvency of this system isn't just numbers on a page, it is quite literally a lifeline. Which brings us to our final stop, Section 5. Enjoy the ride for now and what to expect in the short term. Let's look at the immediate bright side for the miles right in front of us. You're getting a raise that's noticeably beefier than the 2.8% projected for 2026. The 2027 projection of roughly 3.5% means the inflation monster is finally taking a nap in the back seat. Prices aren't surging out of control, and like we just saw, your health insurance isn't going to devour your entire raise. This represents a moment of relative stability for your fixed income, and honestly, that's something we should really appreciate. Just a quick heads up though, don't go trading the car in for a yacht quite yet based on these projections. Remember how we talked about that July to September data window? Well, Uncle Sam's final official calculation won't be cemented and announced until mid-October, specifically right around October 14th. So until the ink is completely dry on that fall announcement, these numbers are still just educated estimates on our map. As we wrap up this explainer, the biggest, most undeniable question left flashing on the dashboard is this: will Congress actually step in and fix the engine before we hit that 2032 empty tank cliff? Will they raise revenues? Will they adjust retirement ages or maybe tweak the benefit formulas? The reality is the road is running out fast, and some very painful decisions have to be made. Keep your eyes on the road and absolutely enjoy the stable miles ahead for 2027, but ask yourself, who is going to pay the toll to keep this engine running past 2032? Thanks so much for joining me to navigate these numbers.